Hey guys, happy Tuesday, Asetha. I'm really glad to be getting back to this song. I tried to look at it last night, but I was just too tired. But anyways, I came back to it this morning, and I wrote it. It's definitely 15 years ago. I can remember where it was due. I was at my desk, working as a research analyst, which at sometimes, is a little bit boring. But I was working at social justice issues in my career. So poverty, homelessness, mental health, substance use issues, intimate partner violence, all of those really complex aspects of this world that can really put us in hard spots, And there are things that affect everybody, absolutely everybody, and break our hearts, right? But I remember when I wrote this song, I thought, boy, that's a pretty decent song there, Asetha. And I thought, I think John Prine would be proud of that one. Which is funny because that's the very first song that I did to get on Facebook a couple weeks ago. It was a John Prine song, Angel from Montgomery, and it was because he passed away, of course. So anyways, I'm going to sing this song now today for John Prine. Maybe mother and father are hanging out with him, I don't know. Could be a bit of Kenny Rogers on the go. Sounds good, boys? All right. It's called I'll Be All Right, Hosannah. I never told a soul how he spoke to me, how he behaved when he'd had a few drinks. I was too ashamed that I put up with him. What would Mama say if she knew all this? Well, I'll be alright, Hosannah. I know you think I'm running, aren't we all? I'll be alright, Hosannah. Mama always said, don't take no cowards on. Times have changed, and we don't need our men. And I won't have my babies by a child himself. I worked hard to pay my way through school. I got a damn good job, and I want a family too. And I'll be alright, Hosannah. I know you think I'm running, aren't we all? I'll be alright, Hosannah. Mama always said, don't take no cowards on. Why I stayed, I guess I'll never know. 'Cause our house ain't worth nothing when nobody's home. I'd rather sleep on the streets tonight. I'd freeze to death, Lord, to set life right. And I'll be alright, Hosannah. I know you think I'm running, but aren't we all? I'll be alright, Hosannah. Mama always said, don't take. Mama always said, don't take. Mama always said, don't take no cowards on. And I'll be alright, Hosannah. Yeah. So, like all songs, they, there's a kernel of truth. And for that one, there's a whole lot of truth in that for me. I mean, by the time I was 25, I'd experienced all manner of abuse. And it's a hard thing to understand. Someone who's got everything going for them, successful, sweet, tender, all those things that can end up in an abusive relationship. But, the truth is it's really typical. And it is exactly that type of woman who ends up in a situation of abuse, because you're a natural caretaker, a natural person who loves and, big heart and whatnot. But it really goes deeper than that. And even though I wrote this 15 years ago, and it's about, what I saw in my research at work and about what I'd experienced myself, it's only recently I've read a book recommended by a friend. It just happens that near me now, I see a lot of intimate partner violence, and we've sort of opened up to it, and we're all sort of supporting each other. And even though it's something long past for me, it's always been inside of me, like, would I do that to myself again? And so I'm reading this book, Women Who Love Too Much. And honestly, it talks about this as sort of like, it's an affliction, it's a disease process. Because if you think about an abuser, someone who is abusive, it's not all he or she is. They're getting their needs met at least. They have that will to survive and get what they need. But the person who's on the receiving end of the abuse, they've lost that will, that basic instinct to take care of yourself and to live and to be okay. So it's very entrenched. It's very hard to be inside of that world of abuse, and it's very hard to be on the outside of it looking in and not understanding how someone you love so deeply could expose themselves to it time and time again. And it seems like they have an out and they just can't make the leap. But anyway, I'm just sharing that because I know this is, really, really common. And if it is something you're struggling with, now you really got to be, this book is a smack in the face. Like every sentence is a smack in the face. Ironic, hey? But it really shows that, this is a pattern that comes from within and can only be changed from within. So loved ones, no one else can do that for someone who is exposing themselves to violence or abuse in any form. Because as we know, if you talk to anyone who's experienced physical abuse, emotional abuse, sexual abuse, mental abuse, what stays are those intangibles. It's the mental abuse. Yeah, it's those things that stay with us. And also, since we're talking about this, I have noticed there's been some inappropriate comments toward me. And I'm just going to nip that in the bud because I really love sharing my music, okay? And there's so many wonderful people reaching out and I want to enjoy it. So just so that nobody feels put out, I'm not going to respond to direct messages from now on because I can't pick the bones out of who's sincere and who isn't. And I'm in my personal space. This is my home, so I shouldn't have to. But I mean, there's comments, right? If you got to ask me something, perfect. Just ask it in a public comment. It'll be much more comfortable for everybody. So anyway, that's my song for today. I guess my little speech. But, all my prayers go out to anyone who is suffering abuse. And I hope that, this is your year. I tell you what, it's bright lights on the other side, my love. Love yourself. Love yourself. That really is the answer. Because, we might say we're staying with someone because we love them, but that really isn't the truth because you don't love yourself if you're with someone who's abusing you, And if you don't love yourself, you can't love someone else, right? That's a cliche, but that's the truth, So it has to start with your own self-love. So you might not like me afterwards, but that book, Women Who Love Too Much, I think it was written back in the 70s. I mean, that is a map of why we attract this, why we stay in this, why this feels comfortable for us and okay. And there's actually 10 steps to, recovery and healing from that. So I'm kind of in the midst of them. And see, I need it. Even though my abuse, the major parts of it happened as a teenager and in my early 20s, I still feel it today, and I know that I still have to be very conscious of my choices and what I'm willing to put up with. So that's it. I hope you like that song. Bye.